In this episode, I'll be sharing the 5 best finance books you should read immediately. Let's rise.
Rising to be. Rising to be productive. Rising to be organized. Rising to be inspired. Who are you rising to be? New podcast every Tuesday, new videos every Wednesday and Saturday.
Hello everyone, I am Christina B Rising and welcome to the Rising to Be show, the only place on the internet where I help you rise to be who you want to be, helping you rise to be productive, organized, and inspired. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday on my channel and on my podcast Rising to Be every Tuesday, available wherever you can listen for free. Watch next week's episode early by joining my Patreon for exclusive and early access content. There's 3 tiers to choose from at patreon.com/rising to be. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can become a riser, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time there is a brand new episode. So let's get into this episode.
Are you tired of 2020 and want to start creating a better life in 2021? Then check out my goal setting workbook to help you create the life you want in 2021. Write the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2. Available now in my Etsy shop, Rising to Be. Save 20% off your order using code GOALS21. Keep rising to be who you want to be.
Happy National Library Week. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing the 5 best finance books you should read immediately. Please let me know if you're interested in a part 2 of today's episode. You can let me know by leaving a comment or a podcast review. Side note, I have not been paid by any authors or publishing companies for mentioning any of these books. This is solely my opinion and books that I have read or are looking forward to reading in the future. And before we dive into our first book, I would like to take a moment to thank our supporters on Patreon for supporting the channel. Without your support, videos and podcasts like this wouldn't be possible. Thank you to Elise W for joining the Patreon as a tier 3 subscriber. And if you would also like to support the channel, you can by going to patreon.com/rising to be. Now, without further ado, the first book I have on my list is Book 1, Broke Millennial by Erin. Now, I'm sure you've seen and heard about this book all over social media. I know I have, which is why I wanted to add it to my list of books to check out this year, because I definitely plan on reading this. Not only is this book directed to my age group, but I also just love discovering new ways to save money, make more money, and of course, continue to learn more about stocks and anything finance. I believe this is also a series where she does a full deep dive into other finance topics like Broke Millennial Talks Money, Broke Millennial Takes on Investing. But until I've read and enjoyed the very first original book, I don't see myself jumping into those others yet. And I will definitely keep you updated on the channel on all of the books I've mentioned in this episode. Book 2, Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. Reading Profit First was a game changer for me because I have a background in marketing, and although I have a business, it hasn't been all that profitable since I've opened it. Just being honest, but this book has helped me to remember that profit comes first in every business, no matter the industry. You see, I thought that in order to have a profitable business, YouTube channel, and a podcast, that everything has to look and sound correct, when in reality it actually doesn't. Often people buy from small businesses because they can see your potential. So by making it as easy as possible for someone to purchase a product or schedule a service with you, you can then use those profits from those sales to pay sales tax and then use the rest to build up your business to match the vision you have for it. Which is definitely something I needed a reminder of. Having a background in business, I just simply assumed that I will always have a high startup cost to get up and running. When in reality, getting up and running is actually just having quality products in efficient ways for people to purchase, and that is all. Traditional accounting methods often explain profit as sales minus expenses, and that equals your profit. But in this book, profit is broken down as sales minus profit equals your expenses. This reframing was made with regular people in mind, i.e. anyone who isn't an accountant. Because although I took a few accounting classes, I still don't feel comfortable enough to do my own taxes. This book helped me to remember that the only true way to keep a business in business is by having profits. So if you need that wake-up call, read this book immediately. You won't regret it. Book 3, The Art of Start by Guy Kawasaki. Okay, so this book doesn't exactly fall into the finance category, but it is still worth your time reading. Because although you may feel like your debts are too big to even think about, let alone actually paying off your debt in full, but you actually can get it done. Don't calculate how many months or years it will take you, because all this does is discourage you from even trying. You gain strength to keep pushing forward by deciding to just start. Whether that be starting a YouTube channel, your first video will always be your hardest to do. And your first debt payment will hurt the most because you're not used to paying it yet. But eventually you will get used to it and it won't intimidate you so much. No matter what you need to start in your life, this book will allow you to start and never stop until it gets done. Book 4, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. I'm sure you've seen or heard of this book because although this book is more than 70 plus years old, it is still incredibly relevant today. This book gives you the tools to enter the stock market with confidence and the Benjamin Graham formula, helping you to purchase stocks with at least 2/3 of their net value. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, how do I know if I'm buying a stock under or over value? Well, you will find out exactly how by reading this book. There are lots of hidden gems inside this book, so I don't want to spoil it for you because you are definitely going to want to read this book for yourself to ensure you won't miss anything. Book 5, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle. People often read this book after they have read the book The Intelligent Investor. Think of these books like a combo deal. It's filled with important tips to keep in your back pocket as you're learning to trade or look for your next stock investment. I'm still new to stock investing and I understand that everyone on social media thinks that they have the best investment strategies but refuse to show you their stock portfolio. Or they want to use a bunch of vocabulary words you don't know yet because you're still quite new and it makes you kind of feel like you didn't study for a test or something. And as someone who strives on being prepared and sometimes over-prepared, I absolutely hate not knowing what's going on in a conversation or even a breakdown. Because a lot of the stock breakdowns you'll see aren't fully breaking things down, which is done on purpose to keep others out of the stock market so that they can become rich and you can stay poor. Which is why I strongly recommend not only reading these 2 books I just mentioned, but to also buy a physical copy so that you can mark it up, add highlights, and add bookmarks to important chapters so that you can easily flip through them as you start to build wealth and a legacy. Share this awesome episode with someone you know who needs it to help them rise to be who they want to be. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have an episode idea on what you would like to see next, let me know down below in the comments or in your podcast review. I'd hate for you to miss the next episode. Now, let's get into our next book. Bonus book, 12 Months to $1 Million by Ryan Daniel Morin. And if you made it this far into this episode, I would like to share this bonus book with you for sticking with me. It's another book for the business owners and the entrepreneurs in the chat. This book is bursting with so much information, like how to create a product that is in demand, how to build a sustainable business around your product, and to not only have a profitable business, but to also become a profitable entrepreneur. Because there are a lot of businesses out there who have social capital, but no business credit, which doesn't really add up to much in the end. You will learn all this and so much more from adding this amazing book to your reading list.
Thank you so much for stopping by and pressing play. I just want to share the comment of the day. Today's comment of the day comes from
YouTube commenter Kagaz Kalamazu. Superb content. Totally loved it. I love planning and organizing. Thank you so much for your comment, Kagaz Kalamazu.
Want to be featured as the next comment of the day? Simply leave a comment on a YouTube video or leave a review on wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, back to the show.
So let's do a quick recap just in case you missed a book on the list. Book 1, Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. Book 2, Broke Millennial by Erin Lowry. Book 3, The Art of Start by Guy Kowalski. Book 4, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Book 5, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle. And our bonus book, The 12 Months to $1 Million by Ryan Daniel Morin. I hope this episode was helpful to you. I can't wait for you to see the next episode. You can watch the next week's episode early by joining the Patreon for exclusive and early access content. There's 3 tiers to choose from at patreon.com/risingtobe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe so that more people like you can have access to content like this. Keep rising to be who you want to be. I am Christina B Rising, and I will always be rising. Check out the upcoming playlist filled with content to help you keep rising to be who you want to be. Bye, risers!
Do you want even more Rising to Be in your life? Then join the Rising to Be Patreon. It helps you support the channel and other forms of content. There's 3 tiers to choose from, starting as low as $4. So here's a breakdown of Tier 1. You get access to the monthly wallpapers for your computer and phone to keep you motivated and inspired all month long. You get to choose 1 monthly video topic, and of course, you get a Patreon shout out in my next video. Tier 2 has access to monthly wallpapers. You get to choose one monthly video topic, early access to videos, and of course a Patreon shout out in my next video. Tier 3 has access to the monthly wallpapers. They get to choose 2 monthly video topics and 1 podcast topic. Early access to videos and podcasts, a Patreon shout out in my next video, and of course exclusive access to my printable collection from my Etsy store, risingtobe. And it's only available through Patreon and Etsy, so this is something you really want to jump on. There are 3 tiers to choose from. I plan on adding even more as we go along. So I hope you'll consider joining the Patreon risers. Keep rising to be who you want to be.
Follow me on Instagram at risingtobe for motivational content. Join the Rising to Be Facebook group to get updates on Rising to Be. Follow me on Pinterest at Rising to Be for several boards of inspiration and motivation. Join the Patreon so that you can watch next week's video or listen to the next podcast at patreon.com/Rising to Be.